morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Actually, it's not really Wednesday when I'm doing this, but it will be Wednesday when I post it. Okay, some of you may want to just consider trying this worksheet on your own before you watch the video and see if you've kind of got it down. I'm going to do one for the lesson today. I'm going to do 1, 4, and what did I decide? 1, 4, and 5. The rest are for homework. Okay. So here we go. For number 1, it says AB times DE. Oh, you know what? Before I continue, I do want to send a special thank you to Nafisa. I definitely needed that because I feel like I'm groping around in the dark here, but thank you for telling me that you're understanding it. Okay, so here's your cross multiplication. So that's going to be my second to last step. Now, if I highlight the triangles, I have AB and AD. I'm going to squiggle that one because it doesn't look like it's part of the same triangle. So sometimes I squiggle and sometimes I don't, but usually it's because I can kind of see what's going on. So BC and I just did it wrong. All right, I'm going to do that as the squiggle. And AD should have been there. Okay, so I have the triangle that consists of A, D, and E, so it's a pink and a yellow. And then I have the squiggle triangle, so that's the little guy. And then I have the solid triangle, so ABC. All right, so there's the two that I have to prove similar to each other. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle. Let's see. It looks like we're going to use A on both of them. So I'm going to mark my reflexive property A. The 120s have to go together, so D. And C would correspond to E. Okay, so there's my plan. Now, from the picture, I can see what's given is the measure of angle ADB equals 120, and the measure of angle ADB, so 120, so ABC equals 120, and that's given. Now I have to say that the two angles are congruent to each other, and I have to use substitution on that. So angle ADB, actually the measure of angle ADB equals the measure of angle ABC. Okay, my next step, I'm going to do my reflexive property. Angle A, congruent, angle A. And that's my reflexive property. All right, so I have my two angles congruent to each other. So now I'm going to say that the triangles are similar. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADE. And that's by angle, angle, congruent to angle, angle. AB is to AD as BC is to DE. And that's in similar triangles. Corresponding sides are in proportion. And number 6, AB times DE equals AD times BC, and that is product of the means equals product of the extremes. Okay, so you're going to do number 2 for homework, okay? So mark that as a homework assignment. Number 3 is also going to be for homework. All right, I have to get 4 lined up in here. Excuse me. My allergies are terrible. Okay, so number 1, you know what, I'm going to write this underneath so that I can, we have to label them. So I'm going to call this A, B, C. Now I already know that this one is going to be D, E, F. Since the triangles are isosceles and the base angles are congruent, I'm going to know that these are lined up correctly. All right, but I have to show why this is 40 and why this is 100. So, given here, measure angle A equals 100, measure angle B equals 40, measure angle E equals 40, and the measure of angle F equals 40. Okay, so I think I'm going to shortcut this a little bit because they wouldn't usually give you numbers in here. So I'm going to say the measure of angle C equals 40. I'm going to use the same reason, so I'm also going to say the measure of angle D equals 100. And my reason is going to be 180 degrees in a triangle. All right, now I can pick any of the 2 angles to make, the 2 pairs of angles to make congruent to each other. So I'm going to say angle A congruent. Actually, I'm going to have to say equals because I have equals up there. All right, so the measure of angle A equals the measure of angle D, and I'll say B and E. The measure of angle B equals the measure of angle E. And that was substitution right there. Number 4. Okay, so now all I had to do was prove that the triangles were similar, and now I have it. So triangle ABC, similar to triangle DEF, and that's angle, angle, congruent, angle, angle. Okay, so that was a nice, easy one. Okay, so let me line up again. I almost started doing it with it up there, and then I have to do the video over again, and that's so annoying. Okay, I need to prove that AE times BD equals CE times DC. So let's set it up in the proportion that's going to be there. AE, if I cross multiply, CE, and DC. All right, I'm going to highlight. AE, CE. Okay, that looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to be a yellow triangle. And DC to BC. All right, so I have the pink triangle. Let me put the whole thing there. And I have the yellow triangle. Again, I'm going to outline the whole thing. Not a big deal. Okay. They're telling me that angle 1 and angle 2 are right angles. So I can skip that step saying that perpendicular lines form right angles. All right, so now I have the angle here and the angle here. But I could also use this and then go for the base angles. But since they tell me that the base is AC, I know that the two angles that are attached to it are the base angles by definition, so I can go ahead and go right for that. So again, this is going to be a nice, easy proof. Oh, I never said my triangle, sorry. So I have to prove, I'm going to put it up here, triangle, say AEC. AEC is similar to triangle. If I say AEC, I have to say CDB. All right, as long as you have the corresponding together, that'll work out. So I copy all that's there, and that's given. Number 2, I'm going to say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and that's because all right angles are congruent. Number 3. All right, what do I have to do now? I'm going to have to say angle BAC is congruent to angle.
Call from Ronkonkoma and Y.
All right, hold on, let me just stop.
Call from Ronkonkoma and Y.
Okay, garbage. Anyway, angle BAC. Actually, I don't really like how I named that. Sorry. EAC. I just changed my mind because I wanted to stay within the triangle. It didn't really matter because it was the same angle. All right, so if I called it angle EAC, I should call it DCB. In an isosceles triangle, base angles are congruent. Now remember, you have to copy the fact that that's isosceles because you're going to use it. Okay, you know, I have it already. Look, I have the 2 pairs of angles, so we're good to go. So triangle AEC is similar to triangle CDB, and that's by angle, angle, congruent to angle, angle. Number 5. I have my proportion. AE is to CE, as DC is to BD, and that's because in similar triangles, corresponding sides are in proportion. And then I have to do my product of the means equals product of the extremes. Because you can't write pom equals po. You have to write it out, all right? So if you're shortcutting it right now, I'm okay with that, but please don't do that. Make sure you know what the words mean. AE times BD equals CE times DC, and that is product of the means equals product of the extremes. Okay, when you do number 6, please be careful because this is not angle, angle congruent to angle, angle. This is going to be a side, angle, side. You might want to pop your triangles apart, all right, because you're going to have to add for the big one. All right, so please submit by tonight at 11:59. All right, have a good day. Bye.